Hi, it's Sean here from AbFab Grooming Scissors. Today we're going to be discussing the difference between reversible scissor and a non-reversible scissor. Now here today with me I have the 7-inch reversible curved scissor. In its natural position, the curve on this scissor is facing downwards. We then have the 7-inch straight, which is just a normal straight scissor. So reversible, what that means in terms of dog grooming scissors is that the scissor itself, so with this particular curve, the curve is facing downwards, so you hold it in that position. Obviously, as I always say, correct thumb and finger positioning. Now, with a reversible scissor, you can physically flip the scissor round and cut, and it won't bend or fold the hair. On non-reversible scissors, you'll cut the outside. You can't flip the scissor round and go up because that will create that folding or bending of the coat. So in terms of reversible scissors, they always tend to be curves, and you can get them as sort of your normal curved scissors. You've got the curved thinning scissors, the curved blending scissors, curved texturizers and curved chunkers. The majority of them will have that ability to be able to use it with the curve facing downwards or the curve facing upwards. The other point to look out for if you're unsure whether or not a scissor is reversible, one, obviously the description of the scissor should state whether it is or it isn't, but also look for the telltale signs of a reversible scissor. Now on the holes themselves, the finger holes, with a reversible scissor you generally have 2 finger rests, so one for either side. So when you are using it in that position with the curve facing downwards, your pinky or your ring finger, depending on what you feel more comfortable with, is resting on that one, and then when the scissor is flipped or reversed, your pinky's then resting on that one, so it provides that comfort. With a non-reversible scissor, you tend to find that the finger rest is solely on the top blade, and it just means that obviously you're just resting your pinky or your ring finger on that, but it does mean that you can't flip it because you will cause the hair to bend. Now in terms of actually the benefits of using a reversible scissor, it just allows the groomer, or allows yourself, to be able to work in the same position without having to get into any awkward arm positioning or body positionings. So for example, imagine that you've got the back end of a dog in front of you, you're working on the right hand leg, so you're working on the outside of the leg, and you want to create a curved finish. So you go with the curve facing downwards up on the outside, so you've got to the point where you want to finish, you physically flip it, and then from where you started on the opposite side you flip it and then use the curve facing upwards. The idea being is it allows you to create a much more balanced look, and as I said, it prevents you from getting into awkward positions. So obviously you can still use the scissor, so with your hand facing downwards, but then that does start to cause some issues with your wrists and hands, especially at the end of the day. You know, it's very tiring. So if you are able to flip a scissor, just be able to create that moment of creating that balanced finish, but by relieving any sort of unnecessary pressure on your hands or fingers from having to sort of flip your hand into that position.